Now let me also bring up. All right, perfect. Get rid of that. All right, let's take this. First thing I want to do before we get into the actual NVIDIA trade, I want to mention this. We also have an additional economic events today at 10 o'clock. We have the durable goods and the pending home sales. Now, we've already looked up this information earlier today or earlier this week when we were analyzing the consumer confidence. We looked up the consumer spending. We looked up the pending home sales. So we already know that both of these events are basically bearish. So once again, so we're not looking to trade them, but here's how this factors in because you have that 8:30, which we're going to try to get off before the 8:30. We're going to have the 9:30 spike, hopefully that goes okay. And then you also have the 10 o'clock when the real markets take over. Well, this is the 10 o'clock. So you either want to be, because if this is bearish or the expectation, like I said, either one, we're not looking it up. I'm not getting involved. So my thing is that since I don't specifically know what the expectation is, the X factor, I am not going to be in the markets at 10 o'clock, just in case there's a 10 o'clock spike up or down. I want to know what the markets are doing when I'm in the markets. So I'm in there in the Nvidia trade, but I want to make sure that I'm out of that trade by 10 o'clock. And now if you want to take the time, because you still have time between the 8:30 and the 10 o'clock to figure out what the expectation is. So if you want to go and look up the durable goods and the pending home sales and kind of factor in what direction you think that market's going to do, that's up to you. But I'm giving you that if you're not doing that, you got to factor in the other things. Remember I said that's what we're going to talk about today, all the things that might disrupt that Nvidia trade. Well, this is the only thing I found. And I went and looked in everything. I looked up foreign markets. I looked up corporate annual reports. I looked up everything. And the only thing that might disrupt that trade are the economic events at 10 o'clock. Right? So the best advice is to not be in the markets. Try to be done with that trade by 10 o'clock. That's not unthinkable. I even showed you how to trade the 930 spike. If you want to do it that way, just make sure that when that spike turns around at any given moment, even if it halfway breathes wrong, get out. And if the spike goes up too high, get out. You don't need the full spike. If that spike can give you, and we're talking about the Dow Jones, if that spike can give you, because a spike might give you 100 points, you only need 30 or 40. You don't need that entire spike. Get out before it even goes up to its peak or before it comes back down on the other end. All right. So that's the way to do it. So you can trade the 930 spike and we're going to show you, the 830 because I said whatever happens at the 830 typically mimics itself at the 930. So that's how you can gauge what the 930 is going to do. You can look at the 830. If the 830 spikes, most likely the 930 spikes. We're going to get more into that in a minute. But I just want to kind of go over the whole 10 o'clock economic events that might disrupt. So you either want to look them up to verify what direction and sentiment and X factor they have, or be out of the markets by 10 o'clock. Now, you might want to skip over the 10 o'clock, go ahead and exit and then wait for that 10 o'clock spike and whatever that's going to do, let that settle. And you may want to get back in at 11, depending on what the NVIDIA announcement is, and you have to factor all this in. But you might want to wait till that event is over and maybe get back in closer to 11 o'clock and beyond. Or you may even want to wait till the afternoon session and kind of see what the sentiment for the day is, giving you all the different scenarios on how you can trade the event. All right, so that said, let's go ahead and, well, I don't want to close it, but let's go ahead and move on to something else. I wanted to show you the price action. Let's show you that real quick. This is the now I also want to kind of confirm this, right? Dude, I so want you guys to learn this because you see that everything I tell you that's gonna happen happens. So let's review again what I said was gonna happen. When we came into this yesterday morning, right? This was the 26th. Well, this is 9:30. This is 9:30. Yeah, yeah. Yesterday, 26. Yesterday morning. Um, hold on, let me make sure. Let me go back to the day before. As soon as I find my mouse, give me a second, guys. My browser likes to lock up for some reason. There we go. Give me my mouse back, dude. All right, there we go. So we're gonna go back to. Oh my goodness. All right, I think my mouse needs to be charged. Give me a second. I have the pad mouse, but I like using the wireless. So give me a second. There we go. Beautiful. I prefer using the mouse, the wireless mouse, than the mouse pad. All right, so yesterday, let's look yesterday. Give me a second. Today's the 27th, 26th, 25th. So let's find the 25th. I want to find the open of the 25th. This is noonish. All right, so here's the 25th. And it was a straight spike, right?
Aaron, can you share your screen?
Thank you. I thought I was sharing it. I even checked. Thought it was still sharing. Thank you so much. All right, beautiful. All right, so let's go back to the 25th. And here's a spike on the 25th, right? Market spiked on the 25th. This is what I showed you yesterday. And I said, and we know how this works, right? Because we already know our range, and our range is 45, 44.5. So I told you, I said, okay, you're gonna see the market come down, and we even talked about the adjustment of the S&P and the Nasdaq, right? It keeps falling, and allowing that adjustment to happen over time. So let me show it to you. The market spiked yesterday morning, right, and then it fell, and it fell back down to 43.3, right, 43.350, and then for the rest of the day, it kind of came back up, and it came back up to like 43.7, and then it kind of stayed in that range for the rest of the day, right? And all of this is aftermarket. So this is like um the
Excuse me,
Nvidia.
Aaron.
Yes.
Some reason your mic is muted or it's very low right now. I don't know if you can
Oh,
check.
is that
There you go.
better?
Much, much better.
The headset was on top of my
Thank
head.
you.
I'm sorry. All right. So this is this military time kills me. And I haven't found a way to put regular time. So this is 4:30. This is right at the close, right? So this is 17, 12, 5. So this is 5 o'clock. This is aftermarket. This is most likely the Nvidia trade, the Nvidia announcement. This is right around 5 o'clock when they came on. So this is everybody trading all of that announcement stuff. But you did notice that it came back down. Like I said, this is all aftermarket. And for the most part, it's a consolidation. Like nothing major happened. I don't know what those crypto heads were doing in aftermarket and what I heard in the chat, but it's nothing big. But I do want to show you this. This is the another mark to close. So they mark the close once again. They're bringing it down, marking the close. Um, at the end of the market. Now I want you to literally to ignore all of this. I just want you to see. I want you to act like nothing happened in aftermarket. Let's just take it up from the close because this is a future market, so it's going to continue. All right. So once again, people were still trading aftermarket, but right here at the close, the market spiked down. That they marked the close, right? So now let's pick it up at the beginning of the day. And I want to show you the the foreign markets. And I was up at around 1 o'clock. I watched it around midnight and 1 o'clock. I watched it. Somewhere around the market kind of start taking off around 9 o'clock at night. Big spike. This is all that aftermarket trading, guys. But I just want to show you. Don't worry about it. Here's where we kind of want to watch it. Somewhere around the 1 o'clock. I saw a spike at midnight. There it is. This is the spike that I saw. This whole run right here was midnight when I looked at it before I laid my head down. So at midnight it spiked again in foreign markets. All right, and then it really started picking up around 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock is when it started doing its big spikes. And I think and let's see if the 7 o'clock drops. Close enough. We've been seeing this 7 o'clock drop, right? Every single day. This confirms it. This is like the fourth or fifth time I've seen this 7 o'clock drop. Straight drop. Somewhere around 7 o'clock, there's a straight drop, and I do not know why they do it. Maybe the market is closing. I don't know. 7 o'clock. I got to figure out what the 7 o'clock is. I'm going to look that up today to figure out what is the 7 o'clock. Is a market closing? I don't know. Is it switching over from Europe to America? I don't know. But I'm going to figure out what that 7 o'clock is because there's always a drop. But outside of that, there's another drop here at 9:30, right? Because once again, I want to show you how they mark the close, right? So this is the now I gotta reset. This is what I mean about TradingView. They do things that I can't get it back. I have no idea how to zoom out of this to get my screen back. I don't have no idea. They do this.
Use the scroll on your mouse. Try to scroll on your mouse.
Nope. They scroll
Okay.
back and forth. I've tried everything.
If you
Okay.
right click on there and hit reset, it should do.
Oh, nope. That didn't work either. I'm telling you, I have not found a way to get back to where I was before. When this happens, I got to hit the refresh button on the browser.
Hmm.
I have tried everything. And even that's not working. So when this happens, I got to close the whole tab out and then come back in. I have not figured out how to reset it properly. I've tried everything. I've tried the right click, the mouse, because I have a touch screen on my laptop. I'm zooming in, nothing works. No problem. All right, so what I wanted to show you was actually this is this morning. This is that 12 o'clock that I saw. I'm a little bit off. This is the 12 o'clock I saw this morning. Big, huge spike, at around midnight that the foreign markets took off. But here's the thing about the Dow Jones, right? It's going to keep falling. And what I want to show you is we're sitting at around, I kind of want to show you yesterday because what happened around 10 o'clock yesterday. That's what I want to show you. Let me find the 10 o'clock on the 26th. Around 11 o'clock, probably. 11 o'clock. Here it is. This right here. This is exactly what I want to show you. So the market opened, spiked up, right? It even came up a little bit, but right around 10:30, right? Or even 11 o'clock, 10:55. Around 10:55, the markets slowly cooked back down. And it stayed that way for the whole day. Because this is 4 o'clock, which is around 2. So from 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock, the markets just slowly cooked all the way back down. And it cooked all the way back down to about 443, 360, 43, 350, right? So what it's doing is it's continuing to fall and adjust, fall and adjust, fall and adjust. And it kind of went into a consolidation a little bit. If you look at it long term, straight consolidation, never came back up. And then now the day ended somewhere around 43.6, 43.7. Hold on, we're talking right here. So that's midnight. We're looking for 16. Yeah, right around here. And here's the mark of the close where they actually spiked it up at the end of the day out. Right? Well, no. It spiked down at the end of the day. And then after market is when it spiked. Because it closed at 4:30. And as soon as the 4:30 was over, it spiked. And then it went on this nice little run and aftermarket movement. All of this is setting up for the Nvidia. This is all sentiment and all of that for Nvidia. But it did kind of spike down right here at 4:30, done. That's when everybody really gets out the market, even though the futures continues. All right, so, and it kind of has gone all the way up since then. But notice the biggest thing, that the biggest takeaway from this is that the markets will keep falling until that adjustment happens between the Dow Jones and the S&P and the Nasdaq. The markets are just going to keep spiking down, and you're not going to see it coming. And the takeaway from this is you should probably not be in the 10-2. You should not be trading on the fly. Until the markets get back in alignment, you should not be trading on the fly. Only trade the economic events or these corporate releases or the annual reports. Trade the momentum. And as soon as the momentum is over, get out of the markets. Because if the market has the momentum, you're not going to be set for that drop. This is my advice to you, that we're in a very critical market, the T virus, all this other stuff, and even the adjustment of the Dow Jones back into the S&P and Nasdaq. It is a very volatile market, very unpredictable. You should only be trading. If you want that protection, that power, that precision, that proficiency, you should only be trading the momentum events. And if you choose not to, my words will echo when you lose your money. Now, I also want to show you the Nvidia markets. Because Nvidia also dropped. They're always going to drop the market before a major announcement. So yesterday, we're looking at from noon to close would be around 4:30. Let's find the 4:30. Hold on. It would be 6:30. Let me find the 6:30. From noon to close would be about 6. It would be about 6. Well, I'm sorry, 16:30. No, 15. Is it 15:30 or 16:30? Yeah, 15. Yeah, here it is. 1600. So 1600 is the market close. So from 12, yeah, 4 o'clock. So right here is where the market closes, and we see the decline, right? We see the decline at the end of the Nvidia day, and it actually even continues to go down. And then once again, after market, you kind of see the slow build. So even the Nvidia markets. And now I'm going to show you the articles that kind of try to support this. Don't believe the articles. Like I said, I'm going to show you everything, guys. Don't believe the articles because Nvidia fell. And they think that this means, oh, it was bad. It was a bad report. No, sir. No, sir. They dropped the Nvidia markets at the end of the day. Well, no. Hold on. Let me show you because this is the 25th. So this is 2 days ago. But it's still the same narrative that no matter what the Nvidia markets was doing during day, because let me explain to you this way. If the institutions know that report is coming out, and because Nvidia is so popular, they cannot control it to make it consolidate. So another strategy that they will do is they'll go ahead and let it do its normal day. They're basically they're going to make money on the intraday kind of trade, but they know that no matter what happens with that market that day, when that day ends, they're going to put that Nvidia trade back down at the bottom. And I'm pretty sure if you go over Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week, you're going to see every single day a spike up at the beginning, and then at the end of the day, the NVIDIA markets come back down. That allows them to make money each day on the NVIDIA markets as they trade with and against everybody else. But they're going to bring that NVIDIA market back down at the end of each day, and that's what you kind of see. So once again, the spike at the beginning of the day, and then it drops at the end of the day. Do we see it?
Hey, coach.
Yeah.
Yep.
Question. And yes, I do see it, and I've been watching it and been frustrated by it. Is there a good book out there that you can recommend? I'm going to start researching this because as I've been watching this, I've had to relearn this lesson a few times, and with just what sticks in my head, and maybe I'm saying it wrong to myself or I'm being cynical, but I always say to myself, man, the market makers. I feel like they're screwing us. I know that's what it is. I mean, in terms of, I mean, not I didn't mean to say that, but I know that hey, this is a game, and it's like, okay, am I not seeing this way I should? And because I was talking to a buddy of mine, I'm like, man, they're going to drop this thing down and they're going to keep it within a zone. Everybody's going to go for this thing, but at best, it's going to get up to 138 or something like that. And in order for it to do that, this is what I was saying Monday after I saw it drop and said, and in order for them to do that, they're going to keep dropping it back. And I'm like, I guess that's what a market maker's supposed to do. And I need to do a better job of understanding market makers.
Well,
Am I wrong in my sentiment? I'm a
no,
little cynical, but
no. You're dead on point. And I would rather you be overcautious than anything else. So let's take your words and put it in perspective. Because you're right. You got institutions, market makers, you got all these different people that are trying to control the markets, right? For keep it balanced, whatever excuse they make on what they're doing. This is still manipulation, it's not organic, so don't stress it. So, but I do want to first kind of reiterate the last lesson. When these kind of things happen and it's a market that cannot be readily controlled, then they're just going to control the open and the close. They have the liquidity to control the open and the close. No problem. They can't really control the middle, and then here's the other part is, which I've said before, they cannot show you the wizard behind the curtain. That is the reason why they allow it to trade, because if it's just going, and believe me, we've seen, in the past, like, why the heck did the markets do that? They can't do that over and over and over and over and over again, because people are going to get very cynical, like you just said, like, oh, this is all fake. And it really is, but they have to give the appearance that it's a normal market. So, so in these kind of situations, when it's very popular, there's a lot of eyes on it, they cannot show you the wizard behind the curtain. So they're going to let it trade as much as possible organically, and that's why I say you can look at these kind of peaks. Like right here, you can see the peaks where you see organic. You don't see the rigid and jagged edges that I've showed you in the past. And I'm pretty sure if you follow this trade back down to the bottom, it's going to be nothing but jagged edges. There's no consistency. Look at all the jagged edges that I've showed you guys on how to read the markets. Nothing but jagged edges, showing you where it really is, or showing you the difference between organic and manipulated. So my thing is this. It kind of echoes what I said before, that be cautious when you're in the markets. Try to only trade the momentum events, or kind of find your kill box and that kind of things. Look for the range. Let me give you an idea of range. Like, let's say this is a completely manipulated market. This right here would be a decent range. See how everything is, it looks consolidated, but if you go into the minute chart, which is what you're day trading on, I can make money off of this. I could have made money on this kill box right here. Another one is right here. I could have made money on this rise right here at the end. Right? And I'll tell you why, because you don't see the pivots retesting. And that's why I say these are the kind of markets you're looking for, where it's not coming down with these sharp spikes like this. You don't want this. Like right here, if this happened and I was in the trade, I'm getting out, because that tested too far down for me. But I like to see this kind of stuff where the pivots never come back to retest. I'm loving that. Now, I'll tell you, let's say I got in here and I see this long spike and that thing come back down, I'm getting out right there. You see how that come back down really long to I'm out. I'm out somewhere around this area right here. So I'm saying there's ways to make money in those manipulated markets, but there are certain price action that you're looking for, certain rules that you're going to set up in the price action that would allow you to trade, volatile and manipulated markets. But like I said, it depends on your style. It depends on your aversion. Some people are like, no, 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 no. They'll see the jagged edges. I'm not trading that at all. And that's the best way to go if you want the protection, power, precision, and proficiency. But some of you might be trading what I talked about earlier about trading house money. You want to try to get that money, no problem. Take 20%, bring it in the markets, and let's see what we can do with it. So those might be situations where you want to trade these. But just giving you different scenarios. I try to cover multiple scenarios depending on your style of trading. All right. So hope that gave you a little bit of clarity and help answered partial of your question, if anything. All right. So yeah. So now let's get into the actual trade that's going to happen. We got about 30 more minutes. I want to get off here by 8:30. So now let's go into the actual trade for today, because now, right, this is 15. And I kind of want to see where the market closes at. 1600, right? Right here, 1600. And the market spiked at the close. Notice. Now, is this a mark to close? Let me hit the 1 day. I don't know if they consider that it doesn't look like it. I don't know why it spiked at the end of the day like that, because it dropped and then came back up. So I don't know what this is, but it did definitely come back up. And the only way that I can say that what this is because this is organic. You see the spike over spike. This is organic. This is people genuinely interested in buying NVIDIA. You see it, nothing but peak over peak, never coming back down to retest. So this is organic. People are really interested in buying, but you see how it right here at the very end. This is a battle. This is the institutions battling those people. The way I see it is I think they were trying to do a mark to close. I think they were trying to bring that market back down, but there were so many people in it that they couldn't. But you see right at the end, that organic was gone. There is no more organic. And I'm telling you, if they were truly trying to mark the close, they're not going to do something like this. So this was what they call price discovery. This was a battle between two different groups trying to figure out what the closing price was going to be. But here's the thing now, because they were not able to mark the close, and now maybe this price is too high. Maybe they deem that this price is too high. You might see the NVIDIA markets at the very beginning of the trade spike down. And I'm going to prove to you that they're going to validate it. I'm going to show you the articles in a minute that's going to validate them, allowing the NVIDIA markets to spike down because they want it to be as low as possible. And then I think that the markets are probably going to go back up to somewhere around, like I think somebody already said it, 138 to 140. I think it's possible that it may go up that much, but even the 130 is safe. A safe bet that it will go up at least to 138. All right, but once again, we're not trading the NVIDIA markets. We're not trading the NVIDIA markets. We're going to trade a safer. That's what our entire community is about. Protection, power, precision, proficiency. So we want to trade a safer market. Plus, I've already showed you the comparison that you're going to make a lot more money. You're going to make a lot more money trading contracts in the index futures because you have more liquidity. And there's a demand on the NVIDIA shares. So even if you tried to buy NVIDIA shares, there's not going to be enough. They're not going to fill your position. You're going to try to buy 100 shares. They're going to give you 40. So it's just not good to try to trade NVIDIA shares in these kind of trades where the demand is higher than the supply. But I at least wanted to show you the NVIDIA markets because that's what the futures are going to be based on. As the NVIDIA market moves, the index futures are going to move. All right. So now let me show you. There was one more thing. There was one more thing I wanted to teach you about NVIDIA. So please pay attention, guys. The price right now is sitting at 134. Now, when I was looking at the NVIDIA markets earlier yesterday, it was at like a 129, right? All the way down here, I think yesterday it was sitting at 126, right? And even in the intraday, I saw it somewhere around 129. Sure enough, right here when it kind of settled, even earlier in the afternoon session, it was around 129. So let's just take it at 130, right? NVIDIA is selling at 130. I'm going to make it as simple as possible. If you buy 10 shares of NVIDIA, that would mean that you would have to pay about $1,300. Maybe you have $1,300, right? If you wanted to buy 100 shares of NVIDIA, that would put you at about $13,000 that you have to invest in NVIDIA. Is everybody with me so far?
Yes.
Yes.
Listen to what I tell you on this. I have talked about having a trading plan for short-term trades.
And long term.
And then you take the profits from the trading plan, you put it in your investment plan where you're trading intermediate. And then after you make profits on your intermediate, and the intermediate can go all the way up to about 2 years. Anything quarterly or 2 years, that's your trade, that's your investment plan. You can maybe even go up to 5 years. Like I said, it depends on where you want to kind of cut the time frames. But then we have a wealth plan, which is our long-term retirement, right? And then we're going to take the money from our investment plan, allocate it over, readjust it over to our wealth plan. And then that's how you have these 3 plans set up. Here's what I want you guys to know. I'm going to give you a goal. If you can get up, and you may have to slowly build it, if you can get up to 100 shares of NVIDIA, that's literally really that's what that's $13,000. If you buy 100 shares of NVIDIA, that is $13,000. It may take you a little while to do it, and you want to do it right now before they do a stock split, and you want to do it before they get over the 150 and the 160 and the 170. But even without that, even with that in play, you got the dollar cost averaging where it's going up and you're still buying it, no problem. Here is the point. If you can get up, let's say NVIDIA stayed at 130. We know it's going to go up. We know it's going to go astronomically. But let's just take NVIDIA staying at $130 of value for the next 5 years. That means that you spent $13,500 or $13,000 to invest in NVIDIA with 100 shares. Here's my point. NVIDIA is going to go up 1,000%. It already did. But people think, I'm telling you, these people are like, and I'm going to show you the articles in a minute. These people think that NVIDIA is done. Oh, DeepSeek, NVIDIA is done. NVIDIA is underwhelming. I'm going to show you all the articles in a minute, and I'm going to explain it to you. But we know it's not done. We know it's the strongest corporation. We know it has the strongest infrastructure. We know it's connected to every single corporation around the planet. So I promise you NVIDIA is going to go up another 1,000 points. And if it goes up another 1,000 points, you just made $1.3 million. Did everybody get that?
Loud and clear.
Your goal is to take the money that you're making. Now I'm giving you the ultimate goal. So you are going to be a lot more cautious in your trading plan because you got a big goal on your lap. You're trying to get up to 100 shares. 100 shares. I'm not asking anything major. As you are making money in your investment plan and your trading plan, we already showed you how to allocate as you take your wins on your economic events, on your quarterly earnings, on your corporate releases, because those are the momentum trades. And if you just take the money out of that and then maybe take 20% to try to maximize your money, your goal on every single trade is to get to 100 NVIDIA shares. How do I invest $13,000 in NVIDIA in 2025? Because I know over the next 5 years, NVIDIA is going to go up 1,000%. They're going to do stock splits at least twice. And you will have made, and we know it's more than 1.3 million because the price is going to go up. It's $170 a share, $200 a share. Go ahead. I heard somebody, or is it just a mic problem? Anybody have a comment or question?
I think that was a call for joy.
Okay, no problem. But
Unfortunately, it didn't come from me, but
no problem. But this is what I wanted to show you. I said, you know what? Let's give them the long-term aspect. Let's give them that goal that they can shoot for. And now, because I'm telling you, you get short-sighted, and you're trying to learn, and you're trying to make money, and you're trying to test out different theories. No, you got a goal on your lap. You got a goal in focus. How do I get up to 100 shares of NVIDIA? We're not going to divert. We're not worried about investing in Tesla, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Apple, Meta. None of them. Go ahead.
hey, Coach.
Yeah.
So, silly question, maybe. Um, so doing that, then you have to learn to deal with all the noise, right?
Mm-mm.
I mean,
Nope.
hear me one second. What I
Go
mean
ahead.
is, you obviously got that big goal of saying, "Hey, look, we know it's going to do what it's going to do." So, one part of you says, "Set it and forget it." And if I'd have done that when I had a lot of NVIDIA shares late last year, I'd be in a better place than I am right now with my portfolio. But I moved around and wiggled and did some stuff and just started building my NVIDIA back up. But does it almost, are you better off almost saying just I'm setting it there, forgetting it at
Yep.
least for 2 years,
Yep.
3 years?
Yep. And that's the reason why I said there is no losing focus. There is no echoes, none of that, because you're literally going to put it in that account. And like I said, you have to have the discipline because you are going to check on it, like maybe every 6 months, every year, once again, you gotta come up with your rules based on, remember we talked about
Yeah.
the weaknesses and strengths. So if your weakness is compulsion, oh my goodness, I see all that money, I can do this, I can do that. If that, don't touch it. Don't touch it. And I would go so far as to open up a whole nother broker account. Put that NVIDIA trade in that broker account and lock it away. Put
I
the
think
put the Go ahead.
go ahead. No, I get what you're saying. It's a whole different set it and forget it. This is over here, no touchy kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Unless there's big news that you can't obviously hide from, don't even go look at it. Almost for me, that would be my style.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. If the only thing that would make us sell our NVIDIA is if Huang did the gesture. That's the
I hope
only
he never
thing.
does.
he he seems to be a bit
That
more
would be the
stable.
only thing. Yeah, thank you, right?
He seems to be a bit more stable than that.
Exactly.
Um,
So
okay.
other than that, this is it.
I,
Your goal is to try to get up to the 100 shares and then just leave it alone.
part of what I think for me, I've been telling myself that okay, right now the video is broken for whatever reason, and when I say that, I'm comparing it to the last 7 years or so, where when I was trading options back then, it was just clockwork. An earnings event like this, I mean, I was gold. This is a 20-point day, and it doesn't
And
do
I
that
and I
anymore.
yeah, I
But
I
it's
I,
not necessary. Yeah. Go
I
ahead. I'm
saw
sorry.
that in the chat. A lot of people talking about puts and all this stuff in the chat
Yeah.
on the earnings. Like I said, these people just don't know what they're doing because it's about risk. And if they're trading like that with high risk, they're already trading after market. Now they're talking about the options. It's just risk upon risk upon risk.
Yeah.
And you eventually end up giving the money back because you're spreading yourself so thin. So I'm trying to show you how the protection, power, precision, proficiency, where you are protecting yourself. But I'm also giving this ultimate goal, which is also going to give you overall protection. Because if you're making a 1.3 million, 2 million and beyond by holding on to that long-term trade, then once again, your trading plan and investment plan is offsetting it. But I'm
Right.
giving everybody that ultimate goals. Every single trade you put in, this money is going toward NVIDIA. And hopefully it'll calm you down, focus you to make money on the trade. Don't reinvent, don't go wayward, stay focused. You're trying to get up to 100 shares of NVIDIA. Hopefully you can do it this year because I don't see NVIDIA going over 170. I think it's going to kind of go up, come back down, go up, come back down. They don't want, and I'm going to show you, we're going to start getting into that right now, all these articles. We got about 10 more minutes. I'm going to run through these articles real quick because there's one more main thing that I want to show you. Human nature is unbelievable. Let me show you what I mean. Let me show you the numbers. Like I showed you some of the price action where NVIDIA came down, NVIDIA came down, NVIDIA came down. They're trying to keep NVIDIA down so much. Let me show you why. First off, let me show you the numbers on the report. Let me show you the numbers on the report first. Absolutely insanity. NVIDIA is doing over 100%. Over 100%. Look at this, record revenue of 114%. How is this lacking? How are people saying that they're underwhelmed when NVIDIA did 114% revenue year over year? But the thing is, and this is what I say about human nature, this is expected. What do you mean?
39 billion doesn't buy you as much as it bought you yesterday,
And that's why I'm not really worried about the money. I'm worried about the rise because it could have been a $2 stock. The fact that they did 114% year over year, but the reason why the market is not moving that the way that it should, because it should be going through the roof, they want to justify it because, we already expect NVIDIA to do these numbers. And it shouldn't be like that. NVIDIA is working their butt off. And I'm going to give you the equivalent. Right? Michael Jordan was breaking every record in the NBA. And it just became normal. Oh, that's just Michael Jordan. LeBron James is doing all these records. Oh, that's normal for him. But compare him to the entire rest of the league. It's not normal. The man is superpowered. Oh, but that's normal for him. That shouldn't matter. You should be comparing him with the other, several hundred people in the league.
And guess what else, Aaron?
Go ahead.
At one time, he wasn't getting paid the highest. He was
Mm-hmm.
getting paid $4 million, and John Concac was making more.
Yep.
So he was devalued.
Mm-hmm. Because it was expected. What do you mean? You reward based on what they do, not based on, what's expected. It's and I'll give you another equivalent. It's like a track runner is lapping everybody else in the race 2 or 3 times. Oh no, but he does that every race. What do you mean? This man has lapped everybody else.
If it was easy, everyone would do it.
Thank you. But we're not going to give him the attention. We're not going to give him the accolades that he deserves or she deserves because, that's just normal. And that's what they kind of did with Caitlin Clark, didn't they? They underwhelmed her. And what did she end up doing? Going to another league. If you guys are not going to appreciate what I do, I can go somewhere else and shine. This woman was doubling and tripling the revenue in the WNBA. And they did not take care of her. Oh, but that's normal for her. So I'm just showing you the human pattern of what they do. And that's the reason why you don't see NVIDIA just skyrocketing over and over again. But it does let you know that if NVIDIA continues to do it, and that's what we bring in the LeBron, we bring in the Caitlin, we bring in the Jordan, because they're still going to shine, they're still going to rise despite everybody minimizing their accomplishments. When it's all said and done and you look at the numbers, it's undeniable. And that's the reason why as they try to suppress NVIDIA in the markets, they're still going to shine and triple and quadruple in value. There's no way you can stop the train. Here's the article right here. NVIDIA gives underwhelming report. What do you mean? but it's just another tactic. I got a restriction on TikTok, guys. Did I say something wrong?
I don't know.
It's no problem, guys. Believe me, I don't even like TikTok. Everybody say goodbye on TikTok. I'm still on TikTok, but I don't have time for TikTok. I'm so glad I left that platform. Anyway, this is the gist of it. This is just the institutions trying to get people to sell their Nvidia stock. That's all this is. It makes no sense whatsoever. And then they manipulate the market, trying to keep it down as much as possible, trying to get people to sell their Nvidia stock. But because there's another metric, it wasn't just the 114%. There was another one. Let me go to another article because they had another number that was just as powerful as the 114%. Let me see if I can find it. I think it was in the report. That AI report. I think it was in that one. Let me see if I can find it in one of the articles. All right, let me pull up my DeepSeek. Let me look at the article and see if I can find the metric that they gave. Who was it that asked about the tokens yesterday evening? $114 here, right here. The data centers. No, that's still the billions. I'm looking for percentages. I was talking to somebody. Was it Rodney? I was talking to somebody last night, and somebody mentioned something about the tokens. They mentioned tokens in the report or in the release. I looked it up. So whoever that was, I'm gonna.
That wasn't me.
All right, I'll figure out who it was. I can go back on my WhatsApp. I looked that up also on AI. There are 4 different types of tokens that they use with the AI. I'm going to post that in the room for that person. All right, but there was another metric, guys. It was also over 100%. I can't find it, but it just shows you that NVIDIA is by far not underwhelming. But because you expect them to do those kind of numbers, it just doesn't make sense. So do not believe the articles. Do not believe these institutions. NVIDIA, if as close to perfection is, NVIDIA is it. You got a very well-rounded CEO, focused, diversifying the portfolio of products, infrastructure around the world. I cannot find a flaw in this company. And believe me, everybody's out there looking for flaws. There is no flaw in the video right now. They're doing everything right. They're taking over everything. Debo, they pushing everybody out the way. All right, so I try to get off before 8:30, guys. It's coming up on 8:30. Let's go ahead and get off now. But just keep in mind with the 8:30, it may not hit 8:30 exactly. I keep telling you, in the future markets, it sometimes hits around 8:40, 8:45. Just put it in now, and then you might be able to see what's going to happen at the 8:30. It might be an 8:30 spike. Pull up your programs now. Whatever happens at the 8:30 is going to happen at the 9:30 as well. Just try to get as much of the spike as possible. Don't stay in too long. Keep your long-term goal of getting up to 100 NVIDIA shares by the end of 2025. If you guys have any questions, hit me up. There's plenty of articles. So after the 8:30 is over, go into the WhatsApp. I have articles that I posted in the student room and the subscription, the newsroom. Check all that out. Do a little due diligence to prepare for the 9:30. You got a whole hour. All right. I appreciate everybody. Hit me up if you have any questions about the articles or your analysis. Hopefully you guys are successful at the 8:30, the 9:30. Watch that 10 o'clock with the economic events. I'm here for you if you need me. Enjoy your day, guys. Don't lose money in the markets. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 7:15 a.m. Enjoy your day.